With San Antonio home prices surging and interest rates not making any significant improvement, everybody's looking for the best deals on home. And right now, new construction here in San Antonio is where it's at. So I'm going to tell you when, where, and how to find the best deals on a brand new home in San Antonio. So let's start with affordability. I know that there are lots of people that see these sales prices and laugh at the word affordability. And you're right. How are these prices actually affordable? But this is what we're working with. Market values are not drastically changing anytime in the foreseeable future. So for right now, we're using the term most affordable. So what we're considering the most affordable today is in the low $200,000 to the mid $300,000 range. These are going to be the high production builders that focus on building a large number of homes every year. The customizable options in these homes are very limited as the builders make all of the selections for the floor plans, the elevations, the colors, and the materials before the home is even built. They usually have a simplified and streamlined build process since every home is pretty much built the same and they basically have their build processes locked in. The use of basic materials built on smaller lot sizes and not having the expense of changing designs is what makes these homes more cost effective to build and more affordable to buy. And this is also where you'll find probably the largest amount of inventory in the San Antonio area. Now the $350,000 to the $800,000 range is really kind of the sweet spot for the San Antonio area. And these are mostly still production builders, but they're usually higher quality and you start to see more semi-custom options. Inventory or ready homes are usually available, which basically means the builder has already picked the floor plan, picked the lot, the elevation, the finish out, and they're usually built before they have a buyer for that home, or maybe the buyer fell through. Non-inventory or to-be-built homes usually will have specific options that you can select depending on the phase of construction that it's in, such as the lot, the floor plan, elevation, interior choices of fixtures and flooring, etc. Now, in the $800,000 plus range, especially when you're over the $1 million sales price, is when you're able to have the freedom of fully customizing your floor plan and selecting every detail of your dream home. Let's talk about specific lots and lot size options. Especially in the starter prices, most of these homes are built on lots that are about 40 feet wide, and then you'll have 5-foot build lines on each side. So the home itself will take up about 30 feet of that space. This is what can give these homes the appearance of looking so close together or cookie cutter type homes. But this was all developed and planned intentionally and made to be the more affordable options for people. These floor plans are typically smaller square footage, 1,200 to 1,600 square feet. As you move up into the semi-custom levels, you'll see some of the lot widths increase to 50 to 65 feet. And these larger lot sizes will usually allow for larger square footage floor plans. The homes feel more open. The kitchen and living areas will of course be more open and spacious. The primary bedrooms tend to have more space, bay windows, larger walk-in closet. These lots are usually also when you start to see more 3-car garages. It's easy to walk through a builder's model home and fall completely in love. They will usually choose their most popular floor plans with all of the upgrades and features that you could possibly add from the design center, and it's perfectly decorated and staged to make you really be able to imagine yourself living there. This is the absolute best form of marketing, right? Some people can find this to be deceptive, but just keep in mind that the model is somewhat of an example where the builder can showcase their skills and what they're capable of building. It's important to make sure that you use the model as a way to observe what the builder's finish out could look like, but not to assume that every home will compare. And when you consider the cost that they spend on those upgrades in the model, you probably wouldn't love the idea of adding those thousands and thousands of dollars to your sales price. What I typically do to help my buyers here, and my best advice to you, is that when you go into the model, ask questions. What is the base price of this floor plan? What is the amount in upgrades from the design center? You can compare those costs to other inventory homes of that floor plan and how much in upgrades those homes have. If you're considering a dirt build, this will help to give you an idea of what you would want to spend when it's time to design your home. If you're wondering how you can get the best deals on new construction in San Antonio, I've got some great tips on that coming later in this video for you. When it comes to elevations, just remember that this is the exterior presentation of the home. So a builder may have anywhere from 5 to 40 floor plans, and each floor plan may have 3 to 5 different elevations available. They may have different roof lines or peaks, different types of textures and materials used, different window placement, added columns, or covered patios. This sometimes can be pre-selected by the builder, and many developers have preset rules on how close together the same floor plan and elevation can be to one another. This is in order to avoid the appearance of cookie cutter neighborhoods with every house looking exactly the same. Either way, this is another selection that could add up depending on how basic or how detailed you decide to go. Now, one of the most popular questions that I get is, which builder is the best builder in San Antonio? And the answer to that is, just kidding, there's not one easy answer. It's really going to come down to which builder is going to be the best builder for you. Most buyers don't start the new build process with picking a builder. We start with determining an area of San Antonio that is going to be the best fit for you, and then narrowing it down even further to price point. Every single builder within each different community that they build is going to have pros and cons within that specific community. They all have different building standards, price points, floor plans, quality standards. When we start to discuss your options, we're going to narrow it down by price point and main section of the San Antonio area first. Everyone has different goals and expectations with their homes. For example, if you're a family moving to San Antonio because you're PCSing to Lackland, you want to be within a quick commute, have a highly rated school, and spend less than $450,000, and you're more interested in square footage and space rather than luxury features. Your options are going to be completely different than if you're a retiree that is moving to San Antonio and you're downsizing. You maybe want to be a little further out of the busy traffic of San Antonio, and your budget is $700,000. And you would rather spend your money on luxury features and high quality finishes in a smaller footprint. Obviously, two totally different scenarios and two different sets of needs and expectations to work out. So the better way to phrase the question would be, who is the best builder in San Antonio for me? Should you use a realtor when buying a new home in San Antonio? I see this question floating around a lot on social media, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. Here are a few different scenarios for you. I'll visit the sales office first and see where I want to build and then talk to my realtor. This isn't effective for two reasons. Number one is that your realtor, especially if you find a new construction expert, is there to help you as the expert to use your needs and wants to narrow down your options and save you the work of going from sales office to sales office. That process can be exhausting for you and confusing, as all the information that you receive and homes that you see can start to run together and make the decision process even more difficult, especially when you're going from community to community that aren't even really options for you. Let your new construction expert help you to narrow those options down first. The number two reason is that once you go into a sales office, and if you register your info while you're there, which usually they require you to do, you are typically not going to be allowed to use a realtor to represent you later if you decide to buy a home with that builder. Another common misconception is that you will save money on the purchase price or be able to negotiate the price if you don't have a realtor. And that's also not true. Most builders have the cost of the buyer representation already included in their price, and they don't usually change the price if you don't have a realtor. It's also important to know that a new construction specialist will be able to use existing relationships with sales reps to help you find those amazing deals and save money. Let's talk about new home inspections. The type of inspection that you're able to get is going to depend on the phase of the build process that you are in. If you build from dirt, you are able to get an inspection done at each of these phases. And of course, you do have a charge for each time an inspection is done. Phase one, or pre-slab inspection, is when they inspect the post-tension cables, the plumbing components, usually the day before the slab pour. Phase two, or mechanical inspection, is pre-drywall, before the insulation gets put in. The inspector is just checking to make sure everything looks good in between the walls, plumbing, electrical, and framing. Phase three, or the final inspection, is the same as it is in resale. Of course, there's no perfect home, but you definitely want to have an extra set of eyes on the home that you're buying to make sure there are no major issues. Which, even if you buy a home that is completed already, at the very least, you should have a final inspection done. You will also be able to do a blue tape walkthrough with your realtor as a second set of eyes about a week before closing to point out any cosmetic flaws or workmanship issues that need to be resolved before closing. Now, when it comes to builder warranties on the home, they do all vary on what is covered, and of course their warranty processes. You will usually see a 1-year warranty to cover workmanship and quality issues within the home, a 2-year warranty for mechanicals such as plumbing and electrical issues, and a 10-year warranty to include structural items such as foundation, brick, and frame. But it is important to note that this warranty does not typically cover driveways or sidewalks. Now let's get to the good stuff, which is how to find the best deals on new construction in San Antonio. The sales prices on these brand new homes is of course going to be dictated by what is going on in the actual real estate market. During the crazy market years of 2021 and 2022, it was common to see price increases from the builders on a weekly basis. But now, because there are so many new developments and they have built so much inventory, we're seeing more and more price reductions. This may not always be the case, but in the current market, since they're needing to get rid of inventory, there are great deals to be found. Every builder, of course, is different on pricing strategy. Some will heavily discount the prices up front, and you'll see the lowest price already listed, and they can't negotiate much on that price. Some will leave the inflated sales price, and once we get into the sales office, we may be able to negotiate anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 off the sales price. This is where it is also important to have a new construction expert with you to help you figure these things out and know which builders are the best to negotiate with. Another great incentive that many builders are using right now is interest rate buy down. This is done by using their in-house lenders, which can also have pros and cons, but we'll talk about that in another video. And instead of you paying the market interest rate of 6 to 7%, the builder's lender will pay to buy down that rate to 4 to 5%. And that's with a fixed 30-year interest rate, which can really help with your payment. It can also really help to increase your buying power. In addition to that, many builders are currently offering to cover a portion, if not all, of the closing costs on their homes. When you consider that closing costs as a buyer are usually anywhere from 2 to 3% of the sales price, this can also be a huge savings to you. Another tip on how to find the absolute best deals on brand new homes in San Antonio is to find the homes that are already completed. The builders want these homes out of their inventory ASAP. The longer they have them, the more they have to pay on taxes, insurance, and potentially HOA fees. So they're costing them money and they want them gone. A builder is likely to discount on a home that is ready, but not at all likely to discount on a home that won't be ready for 10 to 12 months. So if you're flexible with some of the features and not concerned with being able to customize any of the features, then these can be incredible opportunities to save a lot of money on a new build. Currently, there are plenty of these ready inventory homes available, and that's where you'll really benefit from buying a brand new home in San Antonio. Another great way to save money on new construction that is often overlooked is to find a community that is either just getting started or is in the closeout phase. Many builders offer their best promotional pricing at the beginning and the end of a community phase. Now, if you're moving with your family to San Antonio this year, make sure to check out the description in this video for all of my contact info, as well as a link to my San Antonio relocation guide and tons of other resources to help you get started planning your move. So now that we've discussed a lot of information about the new construction options in San Antonio and some of the best ways to find the best deals on brand new homes in the San Antonio area, make sure to check out this video next. See you in the next video.